we go now, baby. Sunday night football, the Aaron Rodgers revenge game. Packers in Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Joe and Jingles coming at you with 4 best bets for the game. Before we get into those, make sure you hit that like button and that subscribe button right down there. A quick observation right off the top. The NFL is usually fantastic at this. I'm surprised this game is not in Green Bay. It's in Pittsburgh. You think Aaron Rodgers going back to Green Bay, that'd be a very big deal. So they missed that one, but either way, a decent looking game here. So let us get right into the action. I'm going to get us started with a bit of a boring bet here, but hear me out. A lot of data to back this one up. I'm going to go under 23.5 for the first half total, minus 125 over at FanDuel for this one. A lot of other sports books have the number at 22.5. So check out what this Packers defense is doing in the opening halves of games. They are allowing a league low 5.8 first half points per game, easily the best in the NFL. They are 5-1 to the first half under. As a result of that, Steelers also starting pretty good on the defensive side of the ball. They're ranked top 10 in first half points allowed at 9.8. Now, the Packers offense now, they've stalled on the road a little bit. Yes, they did pretty good in Dallas, but look at the 2 other games. They scored 3 first half points in Cleveland, just 6 first half points in Arizona against the Cardinals there last week. Pittsburgh defense is great in the red zone. So hopefully when we see Green Bay get in close, they're kicking field goals instead of scoring touchdowns. And both defenses really bringing the heat here, both ranking in the top 9 in pressure percentage. Could be a tough day for both quarterbacks out there. They'll be in a rush to get the ball out. Okay, Jingles, you're playing both tight ends here. Let's start with the tight end on the Steelers side of things.
Choose your words carefully, Joe. We're capping off National Tight End Day here, starting off on the Pittsburgh side. Pat Freiermuth, 30-plus yards. We're going plus 225. The Packers allowed the most tight end receptions per game in all of football. At what? At 8.3 per game. Listen to this run of production from opposing tight ends. Trey McBride, game high, 10 catches, 74 yards, 2 touchdowns last week. Fant, Sample, Hudson, and Cincinnati, 9 catches on 11 targets. Jake Ferguson went 7 catches, 40 yards and a score. And Njoku and Fanning went 8 and 65 on 11 targets. Zach Ertz led his team in receiving, 64 yards versus this defense. There was a lot to like about what Aaron Rodgers is doing, and that means not throwing the ball deep. And he's targeted this tight end trio of Washington, Smith, and Freiermuth at 50% of his dropbacks last week. So where are we going this week? Where do we pick and choose? I was on Darnell Washington last week. His usage dropped off significantly. Who picked it up? Freiermuth, whose yardage has not really moved. So we're going to go 30 yards. This is a game where I think all 3 tight ends get some run. You can go 20, 20, 20 for plus money. You can try to run it up 30, 30, 30, but I think we're going to go Jonnu Smith, I think, will probably see the most, but I wouldn't be surprised if Pat Freiermuth sees another 60 to 70% of the route share. He got a lot of work on his 111 yards and 2 touchdowns last week. Feed the hot hand. Let's go 30-plus yards this week, and there could be a little room for that ladder.
Yeah, baby. Okay, my favorite player prop for this game. I'm going to take Matthew Golden to go over 40.5 receiving yards. So I think there's going to be a lot of balls to go around for Green Bay pass catchers. Pittsburgh ranking a surprising 31st in passing yards allowed per game. So let's target Matthew Golden, who's really starting to emerge here at a modest number of 40.5. So slow start for Golden. He didn't really do anything the first 2 games of the season, but the 4 games since, he's averaging 58.25 receiving yards per game. He is 3rd on the team in targets in that span as well. I do love his big play ability here. So he could make up a pretty big chunk of this yardage on just 1 catch. He already has 3 catches of 34 or more yards, those happening in 3 of the last 4 games for him. And the Steelers allow him close to 200 passing yards per game solely to the wide receiver position. So give me Golden to keep it rolling to go over that number of 40.5. Okay, the tight end on the other side of things here, Tucker Kraft. I was looking at him as well. What do you like for him?
I swear I'm not just buying into the National Tight End Day thing. This is just such a great matchup for both tight ends as both teams' defense bottom three in fantasy points allowed to the position of tight end. The Steelers fourth most receiving yards allowed at 67 per game on 6 receptions. So we go Tucker Kraft over 50.5 receiving yards. Minus 110 going to be maybe the focal point of this offense. Wicks is doubtful. Watson is out. Reed still on IR. We have Josh Jacobs dealing with that calf injury. His workload dipped last week. Wink, wink. Keep an eye out for Emmanuel Watson rushing props because he could get some work again this week, looking at that rushing total, and certainly maybe 7 to 8 to 9 carries for the backup. Last week, we saw a 558-1 from Kraft, getting targeted on 36% of his targets. This Josh Jacobs drop in usage only helps the ball to get spread around, and Tucker Kraft right now, maybe the most consistent pass catcher on this team. Looking back on what other opposing tight ends have done, Noah Fant, 4 catches, 44 yards. Fanning went 7 for 81. Hawkinson, 4 for 39. Hunter Henry went 890 and 2 versus this defense. If you're looking for an angle and something maybe in that narrative of tight ends, I think this game could see a lot of tight end usage. Let's go Tucker Kraft over 50.5. Cap it off on week 8 on Sunday Night Football.
Okay, there you have it. Our best bets for the Aaron Rodgers revenge game. He does not want it to be called that, so let's be respectful, people. That does it for our picks. So enjoy the game. Best of luck with your bets, and we're going to see you right back here on the Covers YouTube channel for Monday Night Football.